Welcome everybody to Headlock Field, where in today's matchup on this beautiful Saturday night is between the visiting Sanford Spartans and your Portland Bulldogs. And this is the official start to the second half of the season for both of these teams. They've played 8 and have 8 to go. The first 8 for Sanford, they're 4-4 on the season. Their recent game was against Gorham. It was a loss, 10-4. They had an early lead in the first, getting 1 run on the road, but gave up 7 in the bottom of the first and second. They did score 3 in the top of the fourth, but wasn't enough to overcome Gorham's offense. In terms of their record, they started off 3-0 on the season, but since then they are 1-4. So including a 3-game losing streak that they're currently on. So they're going to look to bounce back to start off the second half of the season with a win. For Portland, they're coming off of a 10-run rule against Falmouth. It was in 6 innings. Falmouth ended up scoring 7 runs in the bottom of the 6th to make it 10-0. And so it's not a fun way to lose, but you got to put that away in the chest and lock it up. But for their record, they have 1 win and 7 losses through the first half of the season. Their 1 win was against Wyndham, 6-4. So they've had a tough season, but there's always a chance to go on a run in the second half of the season, and tonight's a good night to do that. And so we'll see who comes out on top between Sanford and Portland, and we'll be back for the national anthem and the starting lineups.
At this time, ladies and gentlemen, we would ask that you please rise and focus your attention on the American flag as we honor America and those who defend her with the playing of our national anthem.
So here we go for the start of the game as Portland is warming up. The Sanford starting batting order is Tyler Seveny, Caden Fontaine, Ben Gill, Scotty Long, Matty Beckett, Alex Seveny, Tanner McCann, Caden Gendron, and Scotty Robitaille. In the field for Portland, the outfield is Temple, Buck, and Brewer. In the infield is Allen, Babot, Terrio, and Faye LeBlanc. Behind the plate is Milliken And the starting pitcher for Portland is number 21, Sam Payne. And here we go, Tyler 70 leading things off. Pitch is outside for ball 1. And it's up the middle, and that's going to be a leadoff hit by Tyler 70.
Did that hit the pitcher's glove? It looked like it hit off his glove.
So that brings up Caden Fontaine.
Yeah, it's hard to come across your body to try to glove a ball, and thankfully he didn't try to catch it barehanded because that could have hurt.
And checking on Tyler at first.
And that's almost an automatic reaction to try to reach out with your bare hand.
Ball in the dirt. It's a 1-0 count.
Boy, this field looks better and better every game we do up here for high school ball, just from the beginning of the season. They take great care of this field here. The Sea Dogs do.
Checking on Tyler again. That pitch is on the outside corner of the plate for strike 1.
And I believe this is our first game we've covered where I'm just wearing a T-shirt. It's been chilly.
Tyler takes off, and it's going to be hit into the outfield. And not sure if that was a hit and run, but it worked nonetheless.
That was a nice hit. And it was, yeah, you're right about not knowing if it was a hit and run because it was hit right where the second baseman would have been.
So runners on the corners for Ben Gill. And Fontaine takes off. There's no throw by Milliken. So that puts 2 in scoring position.
Yeah. I mean, 2 hard hit balls. And Sanford's got something going here, top of the first.
That's hit to Allen. Allen fires over, and it's off of Faye LeBlanc's glove. And that's going to score a run.
Yeah, it was a great play at third. Just a tough throw over to first for the first baseman to pick the ball up.
And it is an error on Cam Allen.
The second baseman, number 5, Scotty Long.
And so that brings up Scotty Long with runners on the corners again. And Gill takes off. No throw again.
Yeah, that's, in high school ball, that's almost a give-me steal, a gimme steal. And because you don't want to throw the ball to the outfield.
And that's low for ball 1. It's a 1-1 count to Long. Swing and a miss for strike 2.
Beautiful pitch.
And that's hit to Bebeau. Bebeau will fire over, and that one's offline on the throw. That's going to score 2. And Long gets the second.
I would say yes.
And so 2 errors puts 3 on the board. Bebeau will get the one hopper. That one's fired right into the mitt of Faye LeBlanc to get the first out. That does move the runner over.
Yeah, and on that last error, the last error was given to the first baseman because I think it just got past him. He was on the bag. It was a decent throw. Just didn't stretch out enough to get the ball.
And the last batter that grounded out was Matty Beckett. That didn't have time to mention.
Well, we'll get Maddie next time. Sorry about that, Maddie, and your family.
And that brings up Alex 70. It's a 2-0 count. Sometimes in high school baseball, things happen quicker than you want. That's a 3-0 count.
Well, and, you know, we were at the Sea Dogs last night when the third baseman for the other team should have tagged third and didn't, and tried to do a double play and drew the shortstop off the bag, and everyone was safe.
So that brings up Tanner McCann.
So even on the professional level, the little things sometimes don't get done or finished. So it happens.
And that's a steal. That throw is going to go down. So that's a stolen base by Alex 70. Putting 2 back in scoring position for Sanford.
Yeah, this inning, Sanford's had runners at second and third like the whole half inning here.
That one drops in for strike 2.
Yeah, that was an unhittable pitch. You weren't sure where it's going to go, but it ended up right where it needed to be.
And that's outside. 1-2 count. In the dirt for ball 2. And that's strike 3 on the outside corner for the second out. And that brings up Caden Gendron.
The third baseman, number 28, Caden Gendron.
And that's inside for ball 1. And that runs Gendron off the plate. And that's hit into left. And only one scores as Temple gets it in quickly.
Yeah, you could see the coach down there for Sanford, his arms up in the air, stopping the runner because he probably would have been toast.
And that brings up Scotty Robitaille. That's low for ball one. And a throw over to check on Gendron. Swing and a miss. It's a 1-1 count.
Well, it's obvious this Sanford lineup can get the bat on the ball.
It's fouled. It's a 1-2 count. 2 outs. Runners on the corners.
I mean, they've had some really hard hit balls here.
And that's on the outside corner for strike 3. And so that gets Portland out of the inning, but not before Sanford puts 4 on the board. And so after a half an inning complete, it's Sanford 4, Portland coming up. Here we go for the bottom of the first, while Sanford is getting ready to come onto the field. The starting batting order for Portland is Hunter Temple, Regan Buck, Henry Bebeau, Andrew Brewer, Liam Fay LeBlanc, Sam Payne, Lucas Milliken, Cam Allen, and Ethan Terrio. In the field for Sanford, in the outfield is Fontaine, Tyler Seveny, and Robitaille. In the infield is Gendron, Alex Seveny, Long, McCann, and Barlow. And the starting pitcher for Sanford is number 8, Ben Gill. And here we go for the first pitch for Sanford to Hunter Temple. And right off the shoulder blade. So it's not going to feel good unless you score, and then the pain will go away. Regan Buck at the plate. Up high for ball 1.
Yeah, you really don't want your first pitch of the ball game to get away and hit a batter. Thankfully, it's in a spot where it will leave a mark, I'm sure.
And that's ripped down the third baseline on the foul side of the third base bag.
You're just glad he didn't get hit in the head. Even with a helmet on, there's still exposed places. And thankfully it didn't hit him up too high.
Ball in the dirt. It's a 2-1 count. And a timeout by Buck. Gill and Temple playing cat and mouse games. Trying to throw Portland's timing off for any stolen bases.
Well, and the Sanford pitcher is having a hard time throwing strikes here.
It's a 3-1 count to Regan Buck. Temple takes off, but it's fouled back into the netting.
And, of course, as a broadcaster who says anything, the next pitch is right down the middle.
So it's 3-2 count. And that one is inside for ball 4. So two runners on with no hits so far for Portland.
Yeah, you know, and the pitcher for Sanford, his teammates gave him a 4-run lead, and he's not helping his cause any here.
So that brings up Henry Bebeau calling timeout.
You know, and usually in baseball, a hit batter, an error, or a base on ball generally scores.
And that's going to get by Barlow, moving both runners over. And so Portland in a prime position to get some runs back.
Yeah, not a great start here.
That's on the inside corner for strike 1.
And you got a really good hitter up here with Bebeau, too.
It's a 1-1 count to Bebeau. That's low for ball 2. And that's low for ball 3.
You know, if he walks Bebeau, I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see a mound visit.
And that's ripped into left field. That's going to score 1. So Bebeau gets an RBI single.
Yeah, and as I said, that was the right guy at the plate at the right time.
So that brings up Andrew Brewer. Buck on third. Bebeau on first. So the tying run at the plate for Portland with no outs. That's a ball. And that's hit into left. And tagging is Buck. The throw is off the line. And Barlow having to track it down. So a sacrifice fly cuts this lead in half.
And, you know, if you're going to give up an out, You know, it's nice to get a run. And as I said, a hit batter and a walk, 2 runs for Portland. It's the way it usually works out.
And so that brings up Liam Fay LeBlanc. A swing and a miss for strike 1.
Yeah, cutting the lead in half already. Here in the bottom of the first. Good for Portland.
And Bebeau takes off. The throw is down. It's short. It's in the outfield. But Tyler Seveny is there to make sure no advancement further. That throw to Fay LeBlanc was a ball, so it's a 1-1 count. Ball in the dirt for ball 2. And the ball's hit up the first base line. And
nice play by the first baseman.
And that was Tanner McCann picking it up and getting an unassisted play.
And he saved a run. Not only did he get an out, but he also saved a run. Great play.
And so that brings up Sam Payne. He has a chance to knock this lead down to 1. Outside for ball 1. And the dirt for ball 2. It's fouled back. 2-1 count. 2 outs. Henry Bebeau at third.
Well, and, you know, both pitchers, their pitch count's pretty high after 1 inning here.
And it's just foul. And Payne hits it to McCann, tosses it to Gill, and gets the 3rd out. And so that ends the first inning, but not before Portland puts 2 on the board to cut the lead in half. And so after 1 complete, it's Sanford 4, Portland 2. Here we go for the top of the second. Back to the top of the lineup, Tyler Seveny leading things off. That drops in there for strike 1. And Tyler Seveny, last time up, which was in the first inning, got a single and scored a run. That drops in there for strike 2.
Well, and the pitcher for Portland, his confidence level has got to be pretty high right now that his team backed him up at the bottom of the first inning with a couple of runs.
And that's in the dirt. 2-2 count. And just missed the strike zone on that one.
Yeah, I don't think you people at home can hear it, but there was a little bit of a groan on the Portland side because that looked like a good pitch.
And that's ripped up the middle. So 2 for 2 is Tyler Seveny. 2 singles.
Well, we'll have to see now on what Portland fans thought was a called third strike and now a base hit. What becomes of this?
Bringing now at the plate is Caden Fontaine. Last time up, got a single and scored a run. Another check over on Tyler Seveny. That's hit to Allen, and that completely eats him up on the hop.
Yeah, the official scorer gives him a hit, and I kind of have to agree with that.
So Ben Gill at the plate. And Allen will tag third and won't throw over.
Yeah, I mean, get the out and call it good there. Don't throw it across the diamond. So that was a good play, too. So he stayed right in front of that ball.
And there's going to be a pitching change.
Or just a quick visit, maybe? Just to kind of settle things down in the infield? I mean, maybe the coach was thinking someone should have been on second for a potential double play. Not sure. But in a game like this, every out is going to be very important. And that's for both teams, not just for the Portland side, because it looks like both teams are going to put up some hits, which could potentially lead to even more runs. So the little things are going to be very important, and maybe that's what this talk was about.
And that's low.
Just like on the basketball level, when a team makes a run, the coach will call a timeout.
And at the plate is Scotty Long. Last time up, reached on an error. Ball 2. And Payne steps off. And steps off again. in there for strike one. It's a 2-1 count. One out. Caden Fontaine at second. Ben Gill at first. It's a double steal. And ball's fouled back. It's a 2-2 count. That ball's hit to Allen, and that's through his glove. Fontaine being waved around, and the other two runners will move up on the throw. And
The designated hitter, number 2, Maddie Beckett.
And so Maddie Beckett now at the plate. It's high for ball one. Last time up, grounded out to shortstop. And that's going to get into the gap. That's going to score two. And it's a long single for Maddie Beckett.
Boy, he put a charge into that one. Hit it right where no Portland player could get that ball. Knocked in 2 runs. What an at-bat.
And so that brings up Alex 70. Last time up got walked. And Sanford getting the 2 runs back +1.
Well, and once again this half inning, Sanford is putting a charge and hitting the ball very hard.
And doing this with 1 out.
At this rate, I think you're going to run out of that score sheet. You may need an extra.
Down low for ball one. Right down the middle. It's a 1-1 count. And that one hops to the glove of Faye LeBlanc.
And that's the scary part about throwing over. If Faye LeBlanc doesn't get that on the hop, one's a wild. Thank you, Don. Batter number 11 is up, and there's 1 ball, 1 strike, and 1 out. So it's ones across the board.
And stolen base. And the throw's not in time. So Beckett will be at second now. Ball in the dirt. It's a 2-2 count. That's fouled. And that's going to be hit into right. And Beckett was looking down, rounding third, finally looked up, and would have been thrown out.
Yeah, that was a great throw. Well, I'll tell you, this is the second time that third base coach has held up his runner that probably would have been thrown out at home. So, great coaching.
So that brings up Tanner McCann. Last time up, struck out looking as he swings on the first pitch for strike one. Checking on Alex 70. And that's fouled off the foot of McCann.
Yeah, and no steel-toe shoes in baseball. Those cleats are very thin.
Well, and that's why sometimes you'll see players wearing the shin and foot protector.
And once again, it's down by his feet.
Yeah, I don't know how many times we've seen a Sea Dogs game where someone thinks it's ball four, they take off their shin protector and having to put it back on. And 70 takes off, no throw. The ball was outside and low.
Yeah, he looked like he was going to attempt to swing at it, and fortunately held up on the swing because it was outside.
So 2 runners in scoring position now for Sanford. It's fouled. Swing and a miss for strike 3. So that's 2 away for Sanford, bringing up Caden Gendron.
That was a very big strikeout there for Portland.
Last time up, Gendron got a single. That curved right over the plate for strike 1.
Yeah, Gendron taking it all the way here just to see what kind of the first pitch was.
In the dirt for ball 1. And that's hit to Bebeau. He'll fire over for the 3rd out. And so Portland gets out of this inning. But Sanford puts 3 more on the board to extend this lead. And so after 1.5 complete, it's Sanford 7, Portland 2. Here we go for the bottom of the second. Lucas Milliken leading things off for Portland. It's inside for ball one. And that hits the strike zone for strike one. Fouled back. Makes it a 1-2 count. And checked swing. Fouled.
Yeah, he fought that one off, and you're not quite sure if it's going to be called a strike or not, so he fought it off. And
in the dirt for ball two. And that's hit to Alex 70. He'll fire over to get the first out of the inning.
nice easy pitch and catch.
That brings up Cam Allen.
Cam Allen.
Swing and a miss for strike one. In there for strike two. And down low for ball one. 1-2 count. And it's a 2-2 count. And it's low and inside for ball three. And it's a strike three pitch.
Ooh,
And Cam Allen was just tossed.
ejected. Yeah, I think he was ejected, Don. And are we gonna have a discussion with the coach and the umpire, or a discussion with the player and the umpire? No, I think we're gonna have a discussion with the umpire, and we'll take a break.
And so we're back. So Portland's now going to have to replace their third baseman.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it looks like. So we'll find out when Portland takes the field. And that's our first ejection that we've seen this season. And probably for a while.
And at the plate is Ethan Terrio. Currently has a 1-1 count. Swing and a miss for strike two. And swing and a miss for strike 3. So it's a 1-2-3 inning for Sanford. It's the first clean half inning of this game. And so after 2 complete, it's Sanford 7, Portland 2. Here we go for the top of the 3rd. And so Logan Rasmus taking over for Cam Allen. Ball in the dirt for ball 1 to Scotty Robitaille. Last time up was a strikeout looking. It's in there for strike 1. On the outside corner for strike 2. And for both teams now, the ump behind the plate has set the tone for any arguments made. As that's caught by Henry Bebeau.
The center fielder, number 22, Tyler Seventy.
Tyler 70 now up for the 3rd time this game. Is 2-2, 2 for 2 with 2 singles. Up high for ball 2. That's hit into right, and that's caught by Brewer.
The left fielder, number 10.
So that brings up Caden Fontaine with 2 outs. That's hit right to Rasmus. And so it's a single by Fontaine, who is 3 for 3 on the day.
Yeah, that was a good attempt. I mean, he just came into the game, and he had to go across his body for that ground ball. So that was given a hit, and I think that was a hit.
And a check on Fontaine was super close. Ben Gill at the plate is reached on an error and a fielder's choice. Another check, and he's thrown out. And there's going to be no arguments on that one.
Yeah, if the coach doesn't argue your case, you have a little bit of explaining to do of why you were so far off the bag.
And So the first clean inning for Portland keeps this score the same. And so after 2.5, it's Sanford 7, Portland 2. Here we go for the bottom of the third. Hunter Temple leading things off. And that's ripped down the third baseline, but foul. If Portland wants to get back into this game, they're going to need to string a couple of hits together.
And it was really nice to see that they put up a goose egg for Sanford in the top of the third after the first 2 innings.
That drops in there for strike 2.
Oh, my gosh. That was such a nasty pitch.
And Hunter Temple got hit by the first pitch of the game.
And so maybe you can see why that pitch dropped over the plate and he took a little step back on it. He was having nightmares of being hit the first time, but that thing dropped right over.
Up high for ball 2. And that's fouled back.
Well, a little bit more on the upswing, and maybe I had a chance at it.
And it's over the plate for strike 3.
The center fielder, number 5, Regan Buck.
And Regan Buck now up. Last time up, got walked. That drops in there for strike 1.
Wow. He has got a handle on that pitch.
Swing and a miss for strike 2. In the dirt. 1-2 count. Inside for ball 2. And that one's fouled back. That one's ripped to Gendron, and the throw takes McCann off the base.
And the official scorer gives that an error. And I would have to say he initially made a great play, but he threw it wild. He had enough time, so that's where the error comes in.
And so that brings up Henry Bebeau. Got a RBI single last time up. Up high for ball 2. Right down the middle for strike one. Buck takes off. The throw is wide of the bag.
Nice catch by the second baseman. Going away with it.
And the ball is in the dirt. So it's a walk issued by Gill.
Well, and after Gill held Portland scoreless in the bottom of the second, he's getting himself into a little bit of trouble here.
That brings up Andrew Brewer. And that's a wild pitch. That's going to move the runners over.
So, and unfortunately, we're in this position again where an error and a walk are now in scoring position.
It's a 1-0 count. Check swing for the foul. In there for strike two. Fouled back. And swing and a miss for strike three.
That was a tough pitch to lay off on, too.
And that brings up Liam Fay LeBlanc. Last time up, grounded out to the first baseman. This time is going to hit it into the outfield. It's going to bring around Bebeau. The throw to the plate. LeBlanc will slide in there, safe at second. So a 2 RBI single and takes the extra base on the throw.
That was a close play, but I'll tell you, Fay LeBlanc right there. You talk about lifting up your team. That was a great hit.
And Sam Payne now up, grounded out. First base.
Well, and Sanford going along great this half inning, and then a error and a walk, and they both score.
Swing and a miss for strike two.
And Portland, when they needed a big hit, they just got one.
And that's going to be into right field, but Robitaille there to get the third out. And so Portland puts two back on the board in the bottom of the third. And so after three complete, it's Sanford 7, Portland 4. Here we go for the top of the fourth. Benny Gill batting. The ball is in the dirt. Outside for ball 2. On the outside part of the plate for strike 1. That's hit to Rasmus, but foul.
Well, that was a good heads-up play, not trying to play it. You know, it's a 50-50 chance. It could have gone over the base, but fortunately it was foul.
2-2 pitch. It's fouled. In the dirt for ball 3. And that's right off of Payne's ankle. And umps called time. No one goes out to check.
And I'm looking through my little screen here, and it almost looks like Payne rubbed some dirt, picked it up, and then rubbed it on where the ball hit him on the leg, and he's good to go. You know, baseball player, just rub a little bit of dirt on it. Pain will go away, and you just might have a black and blue, but that's okay.
So at the plate is Scotty Long. Down the middle for strike 1. Last time up, Long has reached on 2 errors.
Well, we know Payne can pick a player off because that's happened in this game, so Sanford has to be careful over there.
Swing and a miss for strike 2. And another check on Gill. And that's going to be hit to Terrio. He'll flip over to Bebeau, and the throw down to first is not in time.
I was getting a little concerned there. That ball seemed like it was taking forever to get to second base. I mean, you know, it was a good shuffle pass to get him out, but I'm just thinking, what's going to get there first, the runner or the ball? And fortunately, the ball got there. It just seemed like it took forever.
Now batting is Maddie Beckett. Check on Long at first. Beckett is 1 for 2 on the day with a single. And that's hit in between third base and short. So that puts runners on first and second with 1 away. So that brings up Alex 70. Is 1 for 1 on the day with a walk and a single. Ball's low.
Well, and now Portland needs to play perfect in the field.
And it's fouled back.
Well, and for the second time this ball game, and we try to entertain ourselves up here in the broadcast booth, Don points out again, number 11's at the plate with 1 ball, 1 strike, and 1 out. So, one's a wild again.
And that's hit to Terrio. He'll flip over to Bobo, and this time we'll get the double play to get out of this inning.
All right, guys, there you go. That one developed a little bit quicker for the shuffle pass.
And so, yeah, that ball was definitely hit a little harder and just needed that half a second more, and they got it to get the third out. And so after 3.5, it's Sanford 7, Portland 4. Here we go for the bottom of the 4th. Leading things off is Lucas Milliken. It's outside for ball 1. And we'll get a chance to see Logan Rasmus, his first time up. Swing and a miss for strike 2. In the dirt. It's a 2-2 count.
And I will be interested to see shortly if the lights are turned on here at Hadlock.
It's a swing and a miss for strike 3, which brings up Logan Rasmus. And this will be his first at-bats of this game after Cam Allen got ejected. It's a swing and a miss for strike 1. Down low for ball 1. It's a 1-1 count. Fouled back. It's a 1-2 count with 1 away. And that one is right into the glove of Tanner McCann.
Well, and if he didn't get it, the second baseman was right there to try to catch it also. So great play and great backup.
And so that's 2 away for Ethan Terrio. Inside for ball 1. Swing and a miss. No, it was tipped for strike 2. No, it was 1-1 count. Now it's a second strike. It's low for ball 2.
And we have someone warming up in the Portland bullpen.
Low for ball 3. And a strike 3 looking for Ethan Terrio. And so a 1-2-3 inning for Sanford keeps the score the same. And so after 4 complete, it's Sanford 7, Portland 4. Here we go for the top of the 5th. Tanner McCann.
And the lights are on.
And it's a bunt. And the throw is not in time by Rasmus.
Well, there you go. Totally unexpected play, and a base hit comes out of it.
And so that makes McCann 1 for 3 on the day.
Well, you know, when you're hitless, you'll take a bunt, and that was a beautiful bunt.
And so Caden Gendron now up is 1 for 2 on the day with a single. And that's off the foot of Gendron. So 2 on with no out. With Scotty Robitaille coming up.
The right fielder, number 3, Scotty Robitaille.
And it's a bunt attempt. It's a ball.
Well, you know, Sanford's only up by 3, you know, so they're trying to play some small ball to get some more runs, I guess.
Robitaille is 0 for 2. And the bunt attempt is going to be successful.
Well, and I have to say, too, sometimes in high school ball, it's a little difficult to get, you know, a batter to lay a nice bunt down, and we've seen 2 beautiful bunts this half inning.
Number 22, Tyler Seveny.
And it looks like we're going to have a visit to the mound.
And
we'll have to see if it's just a discussion or any player movement. And I know the last time that the coach for Portland went out and talked to the team, it's led to 2 goose eggs, and goose egg in the third, a goose egg in the fourth for Sanford. And so, like I was saying, in basketball, when a team goes on a run and the opposing coach calls a timeout, it usually stops the bleeding and gets the team focused again. So maybe this is a good talking to again by the coach. It worked last time.
And so the infield will be on the grass with Tyler Seveny at the plate. And the ball on the inside.
Yeah, and the Portland pitcher, he's got to be as perfect as he can be to this batter with the infield in.
Swing and a miss. Evens the count at 1-1. Swing and a miss for strike 2.
Boy, did he take like 30 miles an hour off that pitch. It looked like it was a knuckleball almost.
And that was tipped. And it went in and out of the glove of Milliken.
Yeah, that's a tough one. You could have used that, but, when it's a foul tip, you're not sure where the ball's going.
Up high for ball 2. And that's going to be hit to Rasmus. And he throws over to first for the second out, keeping the runners at their respective bases.
Well, and the runner at third, even though the ball was thrown to first, that third baseman was in on the grass, so he had to be careful because if he took off, they would have got him. Great play and a big out.
So that brings up Caden Fontaine with 2 away. In there for strike 1. And Fontaine is 3 for 3 with 3 singles. Up high for ball 1. That drops over for strike 2. In the dirt. Milliken able to keep it in front of him.
And that's very important with a runner at third.
Two balls, 2 strikes to Caden Fontaine. In the dirt for ball 3. If you're Payne, you do not want to walk the bases loaded. And the ball's in the dirt. So the bases are now loaded for Sanford. And that brings up Ben Gill.
Well, and with a chance to help himself out here.
And that's a fourth straight pitch in the same location.
Yeah, and
And that's another pitch in the same location, so it's 2-0.
And Don has mentioned he must be getting pretty close to his pitch count.
And that's hit to Rasmus, and he steps on third for the third out.
A big out right there.
And so Portland puts up another 0 for Sanford on the board. And so after 4.5 complete, it's Sanford 7, Portland 4. Here we go for the bottom of the fifth. Hunter Temple leading things off for Portland. It's 0 for 1 with a hit by pitch and a strikeout. That's hit to Gendron. Gendron will fire over, and it's in time for the first out.
Well, there you go.
The center fielder, number 5, Regan Buck.
And so that brings up Regan Buck. That drops in there for strike one.
And we have a pitcher for Sanford warming up in the bullpen.
Swing and a miss for strike two.
But I have to say, both of these pitchers, off to a shaky start, have really settled in.
Swing and a miss for strike three. And so that's 2 away for Henry Bebeau.
The shortstop, number 33, Henry Bebeau.
Inside for ball one. Last time up, Bebeau got walked. He's 1 for 1 on the day. And there for strike one. On the inside corner for strike two.
Well, Sanford's pitcher is battling back.
And the dirt for ball three. Three and two pitch is up high. So another walk for Bebeau. And that brings up Andrew Brewer.
Well, and you almost have to think he's sort of pitching around Bebeau. I mean, Bobo's a really good hitter.
And that's foul down the first base line.
Yeah, just out of the reach of the first baseman. And we know he can handle the ground balls down the line, as we saw earlier in the ball game. So just out of reach, foul.
And Brewer is 0 for 2 on the day. Bobo will take off. The throw is not in time.
Close, but not in time.
So Brewer is 0 for 1 with a sacrifice fly. That one's foul. 1 and 2.
And Brewers, Don was saying that Brewers back on the team, didn't start the season with him. He did play last year. And decided to play again this year, but later into the season.
Ball in the dirt. Say 2 and 2 count. And that's hit too Long. Long will fire over to first. And that's the third out. And so another goose egg on the board for Portland. And so after 5 complete, it's Sanford 7, Portland 4. Here we go for the top of the 6th. And we have a new pitcher. Andrew Brewer comes in to relieve Sam Payne. Sam Payne moves over to first. And Liam LeBlanc goes in to right field. So musical positions for Portland. It's right down the middle for Scotty Long. And Scotty Long has reached on 2 errors and a fielder's choice. It's in the dirt for ball 2. Inside for ball 3. Brewer not wasting any time. And ball 4. And so that brings up Matty Beckett. Is 2 for 3 with 2 singles. And a check on Long. That's on the outside part of the plate for strike 1.
And that was good, painting the outside corner. Get ahead of the pitcher, ahead of the batter.
Check on Long again. That's outside for ball one. It's a 1-1 count. That's a pop-up in the infield. It's going to be caught by Rosemus. So one away.
And you like a nice easy out here.
The shortstop, number 11, Alex.
And so that brings up Alex Seveny.
Well, number 11's up, and there's one out.
And it's fouled.
All right. We're almost there, Don. Yeah, Don says it's a key pitch of the season. If this is a ball, for the third time this game, one's across the board. And the same batter.
And he's going to get long. And that's going to take away the ones a wild.
Yeah. And what do we have here? Was that a balk?
And
what's the discussion? It was a balk. So, is only one out still. So, ones across the board are still in play.
And the coach, is it because he didn't throw over to first base?
And so the discussion is happening. And the coach for Portland does not like the answer he's getting. And this is a tough one.
And a timeout for Milliken.
Yeah, he's got to go out there and talk to his pitcher and just try to settle him down a little bit. I know on the Portland side they're none too happy with the call, but, you know, the umpire saw it the way he saw it, and they generally don't call balks. So it had to be pretty egregious.
And that's going to be hit foul. So 0-2 count. And I'm assuming that because he stepped towards first base without throwing, that was the reason why it was called a balk. If he would have stepped off with his back foot or spun and went towards second, it would have been fine.
Well, you know, and as we were saying earlier, he's just joined the team and really hasn't played the beginning of the season. And so sometimes those little things that you're used to doing that you don't do on an ongoing basis kind of causes a hiccup. And so we just see sort of a hiccup.
And it's fouled back into the mask of Milliken.
Umpire is going to be giving him a few extra seconds to get his composure. And that's a great courtesy there.
Two pitch is swing and missed. So that's 2 away now.
And that's a big favor right there for the Portland pitcher and for the Portland side. Swung at a high pitch. Yeah, he walked off. He wasn't happy. He knew it was a high pitch, but
So 2 away for Tanner McCann. That one's high. McCann is 1 for 3 with a single. And that's going to get by Milliken. So that's going to put a runner 90 feet away.
yeah, with 2 outs, Brewer's going to have to be perfect here. And, you know, the infield, if it's a ground ball, it's time to really be perfect and button this up to try to get the 3rd out.
And that paints the inside corner for strike 1. Swing and a miss for strike 2.
Well, great battle back here for Brewer. Just needs 1 more.
And that's fouled back. Up high. It's a full count to McCann. And that's a walk.
Well, a tough pitch to take and a tough pitch for the pitcher to not get the call.
And Caden Gendron, 1 for 2. Last time up was hit by the pitch. That one is outside.
Well, and unfortunately now for Brewer, he has to worry about the runner at first taking off, and he's got to throw some more pitches.
That's on the top part of the strike zone for strike 1. Scotty Long is at 3rd. Tanner McCann at 1st. And McCann takes off. The pitch is in there for strike 2. No throw down. And that's fouled back. One and 2 count. In the dirt for ball 2.
Nice stop by the catcher.
And that's ball 3. So another full count. And that's into left. Temple can't get it. That's going to score 2. And so a walk has come back to bite Portland.
Boy, what a nice attempt by Temple. Right off the tip of the glove, if not just a smidgen past it.
So that brings up Scotty Robitaille. Up high for ball 2. Ball 3. The wheels have come off. For Portland. And that drops in there for strike 1. And the wind has picked up. That's fouled. It's another full count. Check on Gendron.
Well, and that whole thing, too, with the balk.
And that's a pop-up into left. Bobo, and that's fair. And so...
No.
So it was a single. Bobo looked like he was in fair territory when he touched the ball.
Yeah, and the ball went off his glove.
So back-to-back singles puts 2 on for Sanford.
Well, and you said it just before the batter swung the bat. The wind has really picked up.
It's a 1-1 count. Tyler 70 at the plate.
And Bobo had a good beat on it, but you're right. The wind is whipping all around right now, and that wreaked havoc with where he thought that ball was going to be.
Yeah, it's blowing right now right to left.
And the American flag is straight out.
That's going to be hit to Bobo. Bobo will fire over, and it's picked off the ground by Payne.
Oh, nice play.
And so that ends the inning, but not after Sanford puts 2 on the board to end the 3 straight zeros that they put up. And so now the new score after 5.5 is Sanford 9, Portland 4. Here we go for the bottom of the 6th. Liam Fay LeBlanc leading things off for Portland. That drops in there for strike 1.
Yeah, not sure how many pitches the Sanford pitcher has thrown, but he's got to get pretty close to the pitch count now, too. That
didn't break enough, so it's 1-1 count. That one's hit too long. Long will field it, throw it over for the first out.
The first baseman, number 21,
And so Sam Payne at the plate with 1 out.
Made a great scoop at first base to end the last half inning.
That one's hit to Alex 70. He'll fire over, and Tanner McCann traps it in his glove. That was close to the ground.
Yeah, you know, his counterpart right there made a great play at first. We're seeing some good plays here this game on the infield.
So only 3 pitches have been thrown by Ben Gill. Low for a ball.
And if he's at the pitch count now with this batter, he gets to finish.
On the outside part of the plate for strike 1. And I'm assuming that this will be Ben Gill's last batter, whether or not it's an out.
Yeah, I mean, there's 2 pitchers warming up in the bullpen for Sanford right now.
And that one's hit too long. He'll scoop it up, throw it over, and that's the 3rd out of the inning.
Nice easy one there for Sanford.
And so a 1-2-3 inning keeps the score the same. And so after 6 complete, it's Sanford 9, Portland 4. Here we go for the top of the 7th. And multiple changes for Portland. The new pitcher coming in relief is Henry Bebeau. Moving from third to short is Logan Rasmus. Jacob Johnson comes in to play third. Liam Fay LeBlanc is now back at first. And Andrew Brewer is now back in right. And so Caden Fontaine leads things off for Sanford. Ball's low. It's a 1-0 count. Swing and a miss for strike 1. And that one's going to be picked up by Fay LeBlanc. He'll tag first for the first out.
The pitcher, number 8, Benny Gill.
And so Ben Gill will be at the plate. That one's to Terrio. Terrio will gather, fire it over, and gets the second out.
Yeah, double clutch there, and that's a good thing because maybe he didn't have a good feel for the baseball, and it's always good if you got enough time to make sure you have a good feel for that baseball before you throw it over. And so that worked out well for him. So 2 down.
And that brings up Scotty Long. One and 0 count. It's in there for strike one. That drops in there for strike two. Fouled back. One and two count. It's in the dirt. Makes it a 2-2 count. And that's fouled back. That's in the dirt. It's a 3-2 count to Scotty Long.
Yeah, and this has got to be a good pitch. I mean, you got 2 quick outs. You don't want to prolong this inning.
And that's going to be in the gap between third and short. It's a 2-out single by Long, bringing up Matty Beckett.
Hitter number 2, Matty Beckett.
In the dirt for ball one.
Yeah, and Bobo having a hard time getting the ball over the plate now.
And this is what got Portland in trouble in the last inning. Portland had it within 3 before Sanford put 2 on the board with 2 outs in the last inning. It's 3-0 now. And that's over the plate for strike one. And Long takes off, but it's a walk.
And so, and Don, the public address announcer and all-around knowledge person in the booth up here, says that every starter for Sanford now has a hit in this game.
Alex 70 at the plate. Ball's in the dirt. On the
Yeah, and Don, I'm going to show you on the scoreboard. Don's pointing out the nerve of this guy coming up to bat with 2 outs when he should be coming up to bat with 1 out, so he'd have 1 across the board. So There goes our night.
Ball in the dirt. It's a 2-1 count.
Because twice tonight he came up and it was ones across the board. So if you had ones across the board 4 times, the over-under was 2.
Fouled. It's a 2-2 count. Bobo 1 strike away from getting out of this inning.
And unfortunately, in the world of sports today, the phrase over-under has become more common due to certain things that are allowed to do in sports now.
And that drops in there for strike 3. And a great pitch by Bobo to keep this a clean inning. And so Portland will have 3 outs to work with. They have the 8, 9, and 1 hitters coming up. And so after 6.5 complete, it's Sanford 9, Portland 4. Here we go for the last ups for Portland, bottom of the 7th. And some changes in the field. Brady Adams comes into relief pitch for Ben Gill. Gill moves over to first, and Tanner McCann moves over to third for Caden Gendron. And Joe Mancini is pinch hitting as it's fouled back, 0-2 count.
Well, it's not over till it's over, so we'll see what Portland does.
It's outside for ball 1. Down low for ball 2.
Well, in the Portland bench, they got their rally caps on, and you can hear them. Well, I'm not sure if you can hear them, but I can.
And swing and a miss for strike 3. So Portland now down to 2 outs to work with. And so another pinch hitter, Nathan Milliken, and that's going to be hit foul. Oh, and 1 pitch is fouled back again. So 0-2.
It was a strikeout.
And that's high for ball 1. And Barlow going to talk to his pitcher.
Yeah, probably just like take a deep breath. We got this. Just get the ball over the plate. Don't overthrow it. Oh, that was almost there. Had the Portland player ducking.
2-2 count. And that one's hit too long. He'll throw it to Gill for the second out.
Yeah, everything hit over there to Long at second base. He's gobbled up and thrown out.
The left fielder, number 2, Hunter
And
There's a pinch hitter.
Direction batting for Temple, number 22, Joe Miller.
It's Joe Miller.
and we're going to have a little meeting at the mound. Meetings of the mind at the mound. Sorry. I'm losing my mind.
Swing and a miss for strike one. It's 1-1 count. Swing and a miss for strike two. And it's in there for strike three. And that ends the ball game.
And we'll wrap it up as a player's handshake.
And for Portland, got off to a rocky start, but battled back to get this within three.
Yeah, I mean, that was those first two innings for Sanford. Portland wished they could get out of their mind because the other 5 innings they held Sanford to just 2 runs. And this could have been a completely different ball game. You know, what if? I mean, what if is what if. But, you know, out of the gate, Sanford went to town, and then Portland buckled down and did a great job.
Yeah, I mean, Portland, if you took away those first 2 innings, probably would have won this game. But sometimes when you get to a slow start, it kind of changes the way you play the game.
Yeah, I mean, it was really tough because they were in a hole, and it was a pretty good size hole there. You know, it was 7-2 there early, and it's just tough to come back from that when you're facing a really good pitcher and a really good defensive team, and at least in the infield for Sanford.
Yeah, there wasn't too many hard hit balls off of Gill. It was mostly in the infield. And so that, as a pitcher, helps you out when your infield gets easy outs.
Yeah, you know, and you know, walks and errors will come back to haunt you, and you know there was a number of them, and Sanford took advantage of them early on, and so, but Portland battled back and they buckled down. They just couldn't get enough runs. You know, they lose 9-4. They just couldn't get enough runs to come back. But, you know, there's a lot of good things here for this team. You know, and sometimes with errors and walks and hit batters, it's really hard to tell or really hard to think of the good things. But there are good things with this team, really.
And so Sanford moves to 5-4, ending their 3-game skid. Portland goes to 1-8. They are currently on a 6-game losing streak. It's been a tough season for them, But they dropped this one 9-4 to Sanford, saying so long. This has been a production of WPPS TV3 Portland Public Schools. Saying good night.
And thank you very much for watching.